Hey everyone, welcome to Founders Live Boston.
Welcome everyone, Founders Live, 7th edition, 7th virtual edition. We are now live. Thank you for joining everyone. How's everyone doing tonight?
Oh my gosh, we have so much going on in the startup capital of the USA, Boston, this week, AJ. We have Inbound 20 happening. We have Startup Boston Week, which is amazing.
Yep.
What else have we got going on? There's just so much going on. And then we have our wonderful event tonight. So we are waving wildly to everybody. Hey, Aristotle. A future amazing founder in the making right here, and our wonderful brand ambassador, the one and only Omama. Hey, Omama, mwah, mwah, mwah. Thank you so much. And Omama's absolutely right. Where are you hailing from? Are you local? Are you from Ravia or Andover? Or where are you from? Charleston? Or are you hailing from another part of the world? Let us know in the comment section.
And what you might as well tell us what you do. If you're a founder, you're working on something cool, innovative, tell us what you're working on. We'd love to hear.
And remember, this is an online networking event. Okay, because I don't know about where you're located, but where we are, we're not hurling. We're not hanging out in real life with anybody. It's so sad. So use this opportunity to connect, throw your LinkedIn URL, follow each other, because you never know where the next collaboration will come from. And Founders Live is all about opening doors. So we want to help you open doors for yourself and for others.
Absolutely. And along the same vein, please feel free to leave as many comments and questions, especially questions for the 4 featured founders this evening. We have an amazing expert panel, serial entrepreneur, startup mentor. This guy has been around the world. Everyone in the Boston innovation ecosystem knows this gentleman, and we're excited to have him here with us this evening. Feel free to ask him some questions too. We're probably gonna have time for him to field some questions from the audience as well about his personal journey. So
that's right, AJ. Those brains are there to be picked, I tell you. Got to get that information out whenever you can.
Absolutely.
Shall we move along to the video so everybody understands what is this Founders Live?
Yes, we shall.
Okay, let me just bring this to here. And
Founders Live is the global venue for modern entrepreneurs, especially during these very challenging times. The direct impact of COVID-19 is currently being felt around the world, and it could get worse before it gets better. We are here to help you through these challenging times by connecting you to the people, information, and resources meant to move you forward as you start your next project.
We see an opportunity to bring the resources and capital and connections to the people that need it and the people that can use it, no matter where they live in the world. My honest opinion is, no matter what the economic climate is in the world, Founders Live can be important. In the good times, when it's booming, we're here to help grow companies and have them access capital that's flowing around the world and really be a fun, great event and global platform that powers entrepreneurship. In the tough times, we actually think we can be the answer, given the fact that if people are actually getting laid off and unemployment starts rising, well, the choice to start their own business is front and center, and Founders Live is right there to help them grow. I believe the secret sauce of Founders Live lies in the combination of these 3 words: inspiration, education, and entertainment. Inspiration is rooted in the energy and the passion that every single attendee has. The education is the information that we're bringing to people that they otherwise couldn't find. Founders Live Online helps solve entrepreneurs' daily challenges. If you have a question that you're just wondering, like, I don't know what to do here, you simply need to just type it into Founders Live and someone else will answer it right there for you. And the entertainment is the fun. We believe business should be fun, we believe it should be casual, and we believe it should be inspirational. Founders Live is the perfect place for you to connect with other entrepreneurs and to be inspired.
All right.
Awesome,
Woo,
awesome.
so good. Hey, go ahead,
Tonight's
AJ.
all about inspiring, educating, and entertaining. And I love the entertaining part because I'm in love with entertainment. And we have some really cool trivia questions. We're gonna kind of play startup trivia soon before the pitches get started. But before that, just want to kind of give you a background of Founders Live, our journey so far over the past couple of years, and where we're heading to in the future.
Absolutely. Let me bring the screen up so we can talk about that.
So we're now in more than 40 plus cities across the world, across 4 different continents. Started in Seattle, and it's pretty much accelerated to other cities. Our core mission is really here, especially here in Boston. We brought this to Boston because we valued the theme of opening doors for as many entrepreneurs as possible. I wouldn't be where I am right now, Ande as well, without some really key people in our ecosystem that open the doors for us throughout every step of the way. And we're really excited to offer that same opportunity to everyone else every single month for the past couple of years. Hi, Ande.
Absolutely. And I think that opening the doors is key to the success of any local community. The ability to chat with people, to be able to, say hi. I know for us, let me just bring up a few of these comments already. People are working the crowd. They're already sharing. They're from Boston, what they're working on. Hey, see, this is great. Way to go, Harshil. That's awesome. And then Aristotle, he's in fintech banking as a service.
Awesome.
Great, exciting things coming on for him as well. But I will bring the screen back up and we will talk more about what's going on tonight.
Yeah, and we can't, we can't do this every single month without some really great partners. Ever since we started, we put it out in the ether, and we really got a really good group of folks and companies to really support our mission of opening doors, and not really support through words and posts and social media content, but also through like tangible, like hard, resources, which we all know all entrepreneurs need, especially now during this crisis pandemic, you should call it. So thank you to First Republic Bank. Thank you to Google Cloud. Thank you for AWS, Amazon Web Services. So far over the past couple of years, we've been able to give almost $500,000 in credit. Yes. And 165K in Google Cloud. A lot of startups have extremely benefited from this, and we all know how expensive running any startup, and not to mention a technology startup. So, kudos to all our partners and sponsors, and we're excited for another couple.
Should we hear from Solomon right now from CIC?
Oh yeah, why not?
Why not? Here we go.
Hi. My name is Solomon Flax, and I am the Boston Events Lead at CIC. CIC is proud to support Founders Live as part of our mission to help solve the world's problems through innovation. We're a global community within which innovators and entrepreneurs can meet and collaborate, and we help them grow their businesses by offering world-class infrastructure, attentive hospitality, flexible office space, and by supporting amazing events like this one. So if you're curious about co-working, or just want to get involved in CIC's vast startup ecosystem, you can reach me at Flax, F-L-A-X, at CIC.com, or by visiting our website at CIC.com. I'll also be in the YouTube live comments throughout the evening. Thank you so much, and good luck to all the presenters tonight.
Aw, don't you miss seeing CIC? We used to be on the 20th floor, 50 Milk Street.
Hey, this is temporary.
That's what we keep saying.
I know. But along with some of our perks, we also have, I mentioned earlier, each founder gets 5K in AWS credit, 3K in Google Cloud. The winner tonight, it's the grand winner, and the audience actually dictates who the winner is, folks. So stay tuned, stay engaged, listen, and really decide who you want to get that 10K in AWS credit. We also have UX UI design from Synergy Consulting, which is my company right here in Boston, and we have another office in Stamford, Connecticut. 30-minute startup life founder coach session with our gracious co-host, Andy Lyons, who's an unbelievable startup mentor and coach. And then we also have a featured interview on the Founders Live Global podcast that everyone's like raving about right now. And we also have another, last but not least, grand prize from one of our partners, Eric Cox.
Here we go.
I think Eric has a slide. There we go. We got media.
How about that?
Awesome.
Isn't that great?
Want to say anything, a little something about Media Prepared, Andy?
Pardon me? Do I have anything to say? I am so sorry, AJ.
Anything to say about Media Prepared?
Media Prepared. Okay, I'm going to bring this right back up, everybody, for you to see. I'm sorry, AJ. So Media Prepared is all about commanding your moment so that when a mic is put in your face, whether you are with getting interviewed at a podcast or the media is outside your door and you want to be ready, you need to be able to step in as a founder and authority and know exactly what to say, how to present yourself. And even if your knees are shaking and your stomach is clenching and you're sweating bullets, you can still look like you know what you're doing. And so that's what Eric prepares you for. And we all need that because we think we might know what we want to say. What are our talking points when we're in a moment, not just in front of investors, but in front of any moment, media, et cetera. How do we present ourselves? So that's what Eric helps you do with Media Prepared.
Awesome.
All right.
Awesome.
Next up, here they are, AJ.
The lay of the land, Andy.
This is
99
it.
seconds. Yeah, each startup gets 99 seconds to pitch. It's quick, it's fast, almost like they're in an elevator with a potential client, with a potential partner, with a potential investor, and they are off to the races. So 99 seconds, followed by a 3-minute Q&A by the audience. So get your fingers ready, type in your questions quickly. We may not get to all of them, but we'll get to as many as we can. And then the 2-minute Q&A with our expert panelist, Mr. Frederick Taps. After that, we have voting, which is very seamless. You do it right from your cell phone. And then we'll do a little bit more of startup trivia before we announce the winner, which is followed by a more in-depth Q&A with our expert. Got it?
Right. And folks, you have to remember, as founders, we learn whenever someone is pitching. We learn to be better at what we're doing as founders and our approach to sharing our business models with the world. So you've really got to pay attention, see how these 4 fabulous founders present their information in 99 seconds. And you've got to always be able to present your business model in 99 seconds. I don't care if you are a medical life-saving device or not. And you have to be able to say it quickly and concisely and get everybody on the same page. And then we learn a lot from a seasoned founder like our expert tonight, the one and only Mr. Towns. Go ahead, AJ. You know all about Frederick.
Yeah, I mean, I've known Frederick for well over a decade, almost 2 decades now. Seasoned entrepreneur, scaled companies, to hundreds of employees. Fred is a mentor at various tech accelerators across Boston and across the country. And he's just a super, super great resource. And, he's one of those mentors that knows a lot of different areas of leadership. He's been an operator as a COO. He's been a president. He's been a CTO. So he comes with a specific lens where he could really address a lot of different layers as he's talking to these entrepreneurs tonight. So hold on to your seats, folks. It's going to be a wild ride. Excited to listen to all the pitches. And before we get started with that, let's bring up our fun Q&A. Our trivia.
I'm going to take a moment and say hi to everybody, AJ, because
Yeah.
you know I am a social butterfly and I'm an extrovert, so I have to use these moments to say hi and have touch points. Hey, we've got my 2 cents, my two cents.
My 2 cents. Not just 2 cents, 2 cents.
I love it. Tuning in from DC. I am a brand strategist in the beta stages of my own business. Excited to hear from experienced founders, especially Ketty Ann Cadet. Oh, I love that you've got a fan in the audience, Ketty Ann. I love that. And oh, thank you. We're going to go down here. And I like this comment from Herschel too. I'd love to get in touch with people who need authorization services. We are looking for alpha customers. Now, folks, this is the perfect example of how to work an online event as a networking event. Ideals. Thank you for that. And then we have Lauren. See, people coming in from all over the place. Hi, everyone. I'm from New Jersey and work as a marketing specialist, Women with Purpose. Oh, Ketty Ann, you've got your whole team showing up tonight. I love it. Woohoo! And then, if that's not enough, we've got Tokyo in the house. What? I love that. Up early. Thank you so much for tuning in. And we've got a member of, hold on, where is it? Yeah, from One Screen, one of their team members right here in the house as well. So, folks, this is so exciting. And before I bring up the actual thumbnail, here is QuickWit. And you're going to learn all about them right now as we share who provides us with these amazing trivia questions. Ta-da!
Yeah, QuickWit. Actually, QuickWit was a former winner of Founders Live, I believe, back in September 2019.
Yeah.
QuickWit is a mobile app, an outbound marketing platform that introduces consumers to physical products via gamification. So, you know, we always struggle coming up with these cool trivia questions every week. And QuickWit said, you know what? We got this for you. So thank you so much, QuickWit, stepping up to the plate. They will be providing our trivia questions from now on every single month. Excited to hear tonight's trivia questions. So let's get it up and running.
Yay, yay, yay. Thank you so much, QuickWit. All right. So, AJ, let me go ahead and we're going to start off with question 1. And everybody who's going to be out there answering, you've got to remember, you win a $15 Amazon gift card for answering it correctly. The first person wins. Go ahead, AJ.
First question. What is it called when a company is purchased solely for its staff?
Ooh, that's lingo right there. You know,
lingo.
We have, while we're waiting for folks to respond, because of course this is live stream, so there's a good 10 to 12 second delay. We've got some more wonderful people coming in from all over the world. Okay, so we have Richard Rothstein, DC, a growth agency that can help with sales processes. Thanks for tuning in, Richard. Maybe you know the answer to what it is called when a company is purchased solely. Yay. And Jasmine, we miss you. Something fierce, goddess.
Jasmine.
Our former social media person. Hey, okay, no answers yet. So just going to say hi to tuning in from Atlanta, Georgia. That's so exciting. Welcome. Women on Purpose. You've got everybody hanging here. And okay.
I'll give a little hint. It has the word hired in it.
Okay. Let's see if we're getting anybody closer. Yeah, this is a tricky question.
Yeah,
the thing about QuickWit is that they know how to get people jazzed up for trivia. They know where their customers are. They know who loves to answer questions like this. And look who it is. Boom. Acquihire.
There you go. Good job, Greg.
Okay, Greg Wise, you got that one. Whoop. All right, let's go to the second one.
Question number 2. I've been internet royalty since 2012. You may know me for my work with KFC Phillips, not the $20 one. I'm working with 50 grand. What company am I?
I would never get this one.
Yeah, it stumped me a little too.
I know. And oh, look who's in the house. Hey, Keto. So good to see you. Now, she is a trivia player for sure. She's here every month, folks, ready to try to get that question answered. We usually, of course, have our wonderful, wonderful sponsor from Republic Bank, if I might just be so bold as to bring him up. He's usually here entertaining us. We are not nearly as clever and fun as Robert Hughes, the director of tech venture for First Republic Bank.
Yes, yes. Shout out to Rob. He actually, First Republic has been so good to just the whole community here in Boston. They sponsor Founders Live every month since basically the pandemic started back in March. And, you know, they're going to be providing the Amazon gift cards for everyone winning tonight and in the future. So thank you, Rob.
Yay, Rob. Okay, this is a tough one. We've got some, you know, some answers out here, but no, that's not it. But
I'll
I like
give you
it.
a hint. It's Boston-based. They're no longer a startup. They're actually a unicorn now. And Boston-based. What else?
Here's another hint. Sometimes you're at a kegger, or maybe you're at a bar, and you're not going to get that beer out of the bottle. You're going to get a... You're going to have someone go with a nice foamy top to it. Hey, we've got someone tuning in to support Ketty Ann again. All right, Ketty Ann, you are really working it. Not toast. No, Quick Wit has Think Sports. Oh, that's a good tip. Thank you for that, Quick Wit. And not Drizzly.
Not Drizzly, no.
Hold on, Mug. Oh, we got a winner.
Awesome. Dora.
Okay, Mama. That he's on YouTube. He's all yours.
Yeah, go track him down, Mama, please.
Yes, and please, so that and remember, Darastobius. Okay, well, you be sure to find us and get us your email so we can get you that.
I should have said gambling. If I gave that, maybe that hint would have been too easy, but.
Yeah. Okay, here we go. Question 3.
Despite my name, I'm actually quite productive. I have more channels than cable and satellite combined, and I'm known for being very expressive. What company am I?
Oh boy, I got to tell you, they have one of the best startup stories. They had a company they lost millions with, and this was a little something that they created on the side. And then boom, look at it.
Yeah, they actually used the product for their own internal team or something, right?
Yeah, because they had a gaming. Yep, they were building a game, and they just went through millions of investors' money, lost it all. And look where they are today. So keep that as hopeful, founders. And we have a winner.
There we go.
Partial. Okay, so make sure Omama gets your email address, okay? But quickly followed by Richard, yes, and Ketty. And you know, we've got people. I'm telling you, folks, people love the trivia questions. We miss you, Robert. Okay, here we go. Question 4, AJ.
More questions for this heat, and then we're gonna move on to the pitches. Question 4, known to group competitors together, this company has really inspired solo activity with a cult following. What company am I?
Oh boy, and a lot of people are loving this company right now during COVID.
Yeah.
Because they're not getting to the gym.
Exactly.
Agree, Richard. He was ready to glow right away.
They have a really nice commercial.
They had one time, they had a real blowback because well, there we go. We've got a winner. I don't even need to go into the whole story. Michael, good to see you. Yay.
Michael, good job.
All right. Hell,
but
yeah, Greg.
Coming for them though, so be careful. Be careful, Peloton.
Okay, who's going for them?
Nordic Track.
Okay, well, I'll be keeping my ears and eyes open for it. Michael, you know the drill here. Get your email address to Omama. And let's just say hello to the founder of Founders Live. Hello, Nick Hughes. Woo, woo.
I believe they have an event this evening, no? In Seattle?
Are you having an event in Seattle? Nick, let us know. We'll cheer you on. Okay, last question.
This is the last question for this heat, guys. Question number 5. I'm often confused with a cartoon character. I'm known for my expensive wave and giving people 100 chances to love me. What company am I?
Oh, man.
This is tough.
Next week. Okay, Nick. Good for you. October 1st, or maybe it's you're having it on Wednesday. Woo. Hey, Team YouTube is crushing the answers. Absolutely.
Get it? Did someone get it?
Nope, not yet.
I'll give
okay,
you
quick. Where we need a hint. A good hint.
Halloween. It's like a Halloween outfit, kind of.
That's right. And it's based, the cartoon character is very friendly.
Yeah, even though usually their persona is not too friendly. That cartoon character plays
friendly. Yep. Oh boy. I know we're looking for more hints too. Maybe Quick Wit can help us out. Oh, close. Look what Aristotle said. Oh.
Yeah.
Kyle James, but yes. And so Aristotle, I'm sorry. You meant to put the S in there.
Yeah.
You know, we're like Jeopardy. You got to have the full answer.
Absolutely.
Hey, Kyle, that's great. Oh, Mama, you grab Kyle's email handle so we can get you that Amazon gift card. Thank you, everybody, so much for participating. When we go to vote for the crowd favorite, we'll have the remaining questions up and go through the remaining. Did we want to introduce our esteemed panelist first before we start the... Yeah?
Absolutely.
Okay. Frederick Towns, Mr. Towns, are you ready for your close-up? We're adding you to the stream. Yay!
Fred has a pretty cool t-shirt on tonight. I love it.
Rick and Morty.
Are you a fan, Andy?
I have no idea. Am I a fan?
You should be.
I know. So Fred, thanks for joining us this evening. Why don't we start by why don't you give yourself a short intro, just in terms of your background and, you know, what you've been able to accomplish over your career and what you've learned from it. Let's add a lesson per se.
Okay. So let's see. I went to Boston University, studied computer science, and started my first company, which was an agency doing web hosting and all kinds of marketing services. And didn't want to be a sales guy, but I had to. And I'll just throw the lesson in here. To be a founder and I think be successful, you have to have an understanding. You don't have to be an expert or the best, but I think you have to have an understanding of all the roles that you need in your organization, because otherwise you won't have empathy, and equally as important, it'll be difficult to lead them and inspire them, and also know if someone's doing a good job. So I started out with the agency, and eventually I ended up, my agency ended up helping out Mashable. And next thing I knew, I was the CTO of Mashable. So I was in the media space, and I kind of transitioned from helping lots of different companies kind of get online back then to helping to scale a media company. And I think we grew that company to about a $250 million valuation before I moved on. And then I moved to Florence, Italy for a while and started an open source project where I basically put together a framework that helps folks scale WordPress content management system, which I think is about a little over a third or so of the web. And so that project was pretty cool. It was one of the top 5 highest rated and highest downloaded at the time. So it was a nice little project to work on. And I think I sold that a little over a year ago. So it was like a 10-year open source project. It's pretty fun. And I also went through the Techstars Accelerator in Boston with a company called Playster, which was in the real estate tech space. And we basically had a platform that helped real estate agents with everything they needed, from customer relationship management to driving sales online and all the back office and stuff like that. And once again, grew that business to about $250 million valuation before I moved on. And since then, I've taken a little bit of time off, but I've worked in fintech, and now I'm actually in the education space, which is pretty good timing because in the past, well, I should say in my first 4 months at a company called Ready Education, as a chief product officer, I was able to drive more revenue than in the past 2 years at the company, which, considering the economic climate, is not a bad thing.
Wow.
So sales is important.
Absolutely. Started with sales, ended with sales.
I know, it's a nice full circle.
Awesome. So we're excited to hear Fred's golden nuggets this evening. Founders, take note, and we're kind of ready to get the show on the road.
Absolutely. Thanks for sharing, Frederick. All right. So I just want to say, Sam, get that slideshow ready to glow. We're going to be bringing up, and everybody, when you're asking questions of our first presenter, I want to invite you to also wish him, are you ready? A happy birthday. We have a great birthday. I really even, celebrating these things like that. So let me get his banner up, and I see his screen is ready to go. Fabulous. Let's bring into the room Sam Mallikarjunen. Oh my gosh. How'd I do?
You did pretty good. 8 out of 10.
Tell everybody your name. I'm just going to bring you full screen. Here you go.
My name is Sam Mallikarjunen.
Okay, there you go. Beautifully done. Happy, happy birthday, Sam. I'm going to remove AJ from the room. I'm going to bring up your screen for a pitch. And in 1 second, you'll be ready to have your 99-second. Audience, this is when we count on you. Questions, get ready. I know you want to know. Curious minds want to know. Hold on.
"39 seconds, starting now."
So back in March, I got together for a hackathon with Greg and Andre, former HubSpot colleagues. We wanted to find a way to help small businesses recover from the inevitable COVID-19 lockdowns. We remembered how companies like HubSpot had once adopted Boston bars and restaurants that were closed by the marathon bombing. It was a great thing to do, but it was just one weekend. We wanted to build on that idea and make a way for brands to sponsor small businesses that was ROI positive so that it could be sustainable. Greg saw the TV in front of us and joked that Google Cloud would pay a ton of money to that business owner to be in front of Andre. At the time, Andre was running a big chunk of the engineering team at Wayfair. But business TVs aren't like laptops or cell phones. There's no way for advertisers to launch campaigns that reach a specific audience through the screens inside businesses. Marketers spend over $100 billion a year online, but there's never been a Google Display Network or a Facebook Audience Network for the real world. So that's what we built. We made an IoT device we can give away for free. It plugs into any HDMI port and turns that screen into its own real-time ad auction. We wanted to make something to attract those big internet marketing budgets, so we made a web portal that lets marketers create campaigns with targeting and analytics just like Facebook or LinkedIn. Define your target buyer persona and only pay for performance goals like impressions or website visits. Then we went into what we jokingly called reverse stealth mode to try and find an out-of-home ad company like Clear Channel or someone to scale this. The feedback was great, but people telling you you're from the future isn't always a good thing. Nothing like this has ever existed in this space, so it didn't fit into anyone's current business model. So we left our jobs and decided to scale this up ourselves. We launched a pilot program this month, but made advertisers pay before their campaigns ran. Everyone says they like your idea, but we never actually believe people until they actually pay. So far, we've made about $16K in revenue. There are two ways you can help. If you're a marketer, we will pay up to $500 to screen host on your behalf so you can test campaigns. We need people to tell us what they wish the app could do.
You're going to have to answer the rest as a question, Sam, because your 99 seconds is up, but that's a great screen to land on.
Awesome.
Great job. Okay, questions, folks. In the meantime, look at this. Anyone who cheers for Sam can have a $500 credit on the One Screen Network. Way to work the crowd. Woo!
Awesome. My co-founder is very generous with our budget. We still have to pay those small business owners, even if we give you credits.
AJ, I know you have a question. Again, given the lag, it's always great to get one question in the hopper.
Yeah, I guess my only question is from a product perspective, how are you tracking impressions?
So we have a bunch of antennas in the device set to listen only mode, and it's tracking the number of mobile devices within the viewable range of the screen. So if people in front of it don't have cell phones or have multiple cell phones, you could trick it that way, but these days it's generally an edge case.
Awesome.
So I'm thinking now when I go to my chiropractor or physical therapy, yes, you know, I'm an athlete. How about that? I'm not getting old. Is this something that they could have in their location as well?
Yeah, it could be a bar or restaurant. It could be a doctor's office waiting room. It could be a mall or an airport, any digital screen. We're going live with a bunch of urgent care centers soon. Any place with a one to few context and generally dwell time where people spend a lot of time.
Wow. And so I feel like this is like a B2B, B2C. I mean, you're sort of, tell us a little bit more about that business model.
So it is B2B2C. So we have a monthly recurring revenue model where existing 60% of this industry is still static. It's literally painted, you know, posters and such. You can buy a subscription to our platform and run ads on it yourself, sell your own ads, etc. Otherwise, we take a share of the ad revenue that goes through it. So we give the devices away for free to grow the network as much as we can, and then we take a share of the revenue that advertisers want to spend on the screens.
Great. Richard's asking, are you gearing this toward the kind of business or type, or depending just on people in the area? Not sure what that means.
So the way our platform works right now, because we can't spend advertiser budgets if we don't have the people they are trying to target, our platform basically tells us where it would have shown ads if we did have a screen. And then Greg goes and gets screens there. Like nobody said no, so we're going to give you a free thing that you plug in and it makes you money. It's more about balancing the marketplace based on what advertisers we have at any given point.
Okay, cool. And Adam wants to know, any engagement or calls to action with the system?
Yeah, so I'm super interested in that. Right now we have QR codes, SMS codes, and you can connect to the Wi-Fi. It has its own SSID, which is how people control the non-ad content on the screen, but it also connects them to the advertiser's offer. So we want people to be driving website visits, coupon code redemptions, and then we also have cross-device tracking that we're building as well, but we really want marketers to run campaigns where people convert through the screens.
And one more question before we move over to Fred. Sam, can you explain the core market you're going after?
Yeah, so on the supply side, it's ignoring the current out-of-home supply, going after the very small business and mid-market companies who have screens but don't have a sales force to go sell this stuff. On the demand side, mid-market advertisers who need a self-serve platform and aren't spending enough money for big companies, you know, to answer their phone calls, and then performance marketers who want, you know, real-time control, analytics, targeting, we basically took the tech stack of a mobile ad platform and just put it on a screen in front of you instead of a screen that's in your pocket. We want people spending money on those.
Okay, I have to bring up one more question because this is every month we have No Fall here, and he's also been an expert. Hi, No Fall, so happy to see you. Giving away the device for free, is that just for customer acquisition?
Yep, and well, it's also because we don't want a barrier to entry for the people who are on the supply side, the small business owners who are already cash strapped. And we found a way to make the device really cost effective. So our CapEx recovery is about 6 weeks.
All right. Fred, you've got a couple of minutes with Sam. Have fun.
That's a great CapEx, Sam, by the way. You know, shorter is better, but that's a great start. Are you thinking about like being on an ad exchange, or do you want to be a marketplace?
So right now we're a marketplace. We built it as an end-to-end solution, but we will plug our supply platform into any demand platform and our demand platform into any supply platform. But right now it's built to be all in one by itself.
Okay. So what is the underlying bet behind the business that had you guys come up with this? Like I heard what you said, but I'm trying to understand, like you're basically going to be increasing inventory and it's kind of a new, like a new scheme, but like these screens kind of seem to appeal more to like small businesses and you know, folks that want to drive additional revenue as opposed to like a consumer just turning this on and leaving it at home when they already have an Apple TV, right?
I don't suppose my screen's still showing, is it? I can't tell if it is. Okay, so great article from The Economist. out of home acts like it's an enterprise play. On the supply side, it's Clear Channel Lamar. On the demand side, you talk about like Dunkin' Donuts and State Farm. But it's more like Facebook. Less than 20% of advertisers are the top like 100 on the demand side. And on the supply side, the big screen owners only own about 6%. But there's no self-serve platform. So it's hard for people who aren't going to spend a lot of money. No sales rep will answer. 50% of the inventory goes unsold every month, which is just an economic aberration in a world where auctions exist. So we want to solve the buying process, solve the economic efficiency, add technology that's existed for a while, but that's never been applied to this space, and therefore make it attractive to the much larger long tail of mid-market advertisers and a new market of performance marketers.
Okay, so I get how, commoditized hardware gives you access to economies of scale, but like, how big is this opportunity? I'm trying to, the fact that you have revenue and the fact that, like the ins and outs of your CapEx is great, but like, talk to me about how this scales and where the end zone is for this game.
Yeah, so the total addressable market for out of home right now is about $10 billion. The total addressable market for performance marketing is over $100 billion. Our goal is, can we make the out of home market bigger by attracting budgets from performance marketers where it's super over optimized? CAC has gone up, Price Intelligently said 50% in the last 5 years, creating this new medium with this new buying experience to bring those performance marketers over. Our unit economics are a cost per monetized screen. So assuming our LTV model holds up, our cost per advertiser will give us a go-to-market motion similar to HubSpot had back in our early days. And our cost per screen, so our supply side cost, will give us a go-to-market motion similar to Stripe. Similar to Square. So it's like, how do we get a small free device or a low-cost device into a bunch of businesses? Those two go-to-market motions combined is how we can, grow the marketplace, as well as, our supply-side reseller program, working with the existing industry, which usually I don't count on, but they've been really receptive to this.
Great.
Great job, Sam. Thank you so much.
Good job, Sam.
Great questions, audience, as well. I'm going to pop Frederick out, and I'm going to pop Sam out. And one more happy birthday. Come on. Happy birthday, Sam. That's what founders do, They're ready to show up for their business, birthday, anniversaries, it doesn't matter. Everything works around it. Here we go. And we're getting ready for Ketty Ann to come in. Hello, Ketty Ann.
Hello. Can you hear me all right?
I sure can.
Okay, great.
Hear you loud and clear.
Okay.
Let me just get your banner running so people know how to reach you, and then we'll bring up your screen. Woohoo! All right. Well, we know there's a fan club for Ketty Ann tonight, right, AJ? We saw a lot of them in the comments.
Oh, I love it.
Okay, so we'll remove AJ and give me a second here.
Okay.
1 minute and 39 seconds, starting now.
Great. So how many Fortune 500 companies have a Black female CEO at its helm? The answer is none. Less than 1% of Fortune 500 companies have CEOs that are women of color, and women of color hold less than 5% of Fortune 500 board positions. My name is Kitian Cadet, and I'm the founder and CEO of Women with Purpose, where our mission is to offer unparalleled skill building opportunities and resources to equip women of color with the essential tools to advance personally and professionally. We curate workshops, we create inclusive community, and we provide practical and tangible resources for women to advance in their careers. Over the course of the year, we host 8 flagship events, 2 networking sessions, and 6 digital workshops, focusing on topics that aim to strengthen an individual's human capital, boost one's social capital, and increase one's financial capital. Our value add is that our speakers are women of color themselves who look like the majority of our participants. They're relatable, and we create interactive sessions that include practical resources that our participants can implement the next day. We have created 25 events that have attracted over 1,200 participants and engaged over 60 speakers. But now we want to expand our services to also focus on companies because of our growing network of women of color, which can help many companies gain access to a strong recruiting pipeline while giving their own employees access to quality events. So we want to take this time to thank Founders Live and all the participants and those engaging with us online. It's been an honor. Our ask, if you work for a company that has a strong desire to advance its diverse workforce, please connect with us. Thank you.
Oh my gosh, right on the button, 99 seconds. Tremendous job. Great ask. I don't know about you guys, but I'm scanning that QR code. And I'm going to take
great ask.
And I'm going to take a shot of the incredible comments. Oh my gosh, Kitty Ann. I mean, it's like one right after another from your team. But AJ, you go ahead. Start us off with a good question.
Kitty Ann, it's awesome how you're creating like a recruiting pipeline for enterprises. Walk me through like how would that work from event to hire? How would that process work?
So we're not necessarily taking place of your typical HR office or your HR department that is screening candidates, et cetera. But because we have over 1,200 and growing followers, we have a database of women of color who essentially want to advance in their personal and professional careers. And that is already telling for us for a lot of companies who are looking for individuals that want to be part of their organization. And we've already had companies actually request to say, hey, can we put some of our products and our job positions in front of your growing members? So essentially anything from providing those job resources on our LinkedIn pages, providing some of those details on our Facebook pages, and providing some job resources also on our newsletters is all that we can do right now to be that intermediary for companies and our pipeline.
Got it. So you don't
Sorry, AJ, go ahead.
You don't envision that recruiting pipeline being part of your monthly or weekly events, no?
No.
Okay, this is separate.
Yeah.
Just some feedback from No Fall. That was power-packed, awesome presentation.
Thank you.
I agree. 100%. You'll want to connect with No Fall on LinkedIn, Ketty Ann, founders, anybody who's watching. Okay, he's amazing. I had a question here. How will you generate revenue from 22 King 17?
Great. So first of all, up until this point, we've been generating revenue based off of ticket sales. And now what we're trying to do is advance into membership-based revenue for our participants, but for the company specifically, buying our sessions in what we call seasons. So like I mentioned, we hold 8 events over the course of the year. We break up the seasons, spring and fall. So a company would basically pay for about the fall season, that's 3 seminars, 3 digital workshops, and 1 networking event. And that would be the cost for any employee to participate in those events over the course of that season while the company gaining access to our pipeline. So the way that we would switch our revenue model is moving from only ticket-based into now going by seasons for companies.
And from the founder of Founders Live, what's your target market at this point and the size of company? Startup, public?
That's a great question, Nick. So right now we're focusing on entrepreneurs and small to medium enterprises. So enterprises that have between 0 to 500 employees. And the reason is twofold. One, because the platforms that we're using, which is mainly Zoom, only allows us for a certain number of individuals on the Zoom platform. I mean, I think we can all attest to being Zoomed out and Zoom fatigued, and it's not fun being on a Zoom platform with over 500 participants. And so we want to provide the time and space and the comfort for all participants to get a really worthwhile interactive session, which is why we really want to focus on those small to medium enterprises for now.
Great. And Michael's question is, how do you fund the event? Sponsorships?
So right now we're a lean team. And so the funding aspect has been, we have a high profit margin. And so we haven't had to spend too much in terms of actually making and delivering the events. But yes, moving forward, we want to use and leverage sponsorship. We want to be very cognizant that we have amazing speakers and a growing network of speakers that we want to pay for their time and effort and energy. And so that's also helping to bring up our costs for our events. So sponsorship is what we're going to be looking for, especially as we move into bringing in larger companies for our events.
Excellent, excellent job. We're going to bring in Mr. Towns now, so he can begin to ask you deeper questions, but be sure to go into the comment threads, especially on YouTube. Lots of great comments like this. Yay. All right. So AJ, we'll just hop on out, and Fred, have a good time.
Thank you. Good again. Great job.
Thank you.
I was just curious, of course, I was curious, how do you see this scaling? I don't know if I missed something there, but I'm not sure if there was a way you thought about it before March, in the pandemic or after, but can you talk about that?
Yeah, of course. So up until March, actually, most of our events were all in person in the Boston area. Now, I think the silver lining for us is that now with our events being virtual, we've been able to have such a wide reach. Just the other day on Sunday, we had an event with the city of Boston where we had an individual from Botswana, we had an individual from London, we had another individual from Australia participate. And so when it comes to our scaling and reaching from a participant perspective, having these digital events are going to allow us to have a much wider reach. And in the future, we do want to expand into specific cities of holding flagship events in certain cities because you can't forgo that in-person interaction. Now, from a company's perspective, right now, we just want to focus again, like on those small to medium enterprises that have no more than 500 individuals. But our biggest obstacle that we're noticing is having participants come back a second year around. So what we're thinking in terms of scaling, as we start to include more companies, is create some of these cohorts, if you will. So Fred, for example, if you attend a session on Finance 101, your cohort will allow you to follow your journey as an individual who's interested in financial empowerment. That means that the next session you would be able to participate in would be a Finance 102. How do you, build up on those foundation of those topics? And so that's how we want to move over and scale with our participants.
That's great. I was going to ask you about curriculum as well. So you started to answer that, which speaks to lifetime value a little bit. So it's good to see that you're thinking about that. But what about have you heard of Seth Godin's alternative MBA or alt MBA? Have you heard of that?
Yeah. And especially with the rise of COVID and individuals, I'm actually a recent MBA grad. I graduated from the University of Michigan in 2019, but recently with COVID, people are questioning the value of an MBA, of what's the point of going in person. And so I have heard of this program of just learning on the go and turning it into a virtual program.
Well, specifically, the format of it is what I wanted to highlight. I don't know that it's appropriate, but if you take a closer look, what they do is it's built for people that have jobs, already, and they just, want to develop their skills, similar to what you're up to, but it's condensed.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it makes sense to have, multiple ways that you go about, having folks matriculate through the program, but it could be interesting.
Yeah.
And, an intensive course may be more expensive or more valuable than, longer sessions, something to think about.
For sure. Thank you.
Awesome job, Ketty Ann. And again, go into you'll be uplifted in the comment of seeing everybody just cheering you on. That was really, really a terrific presentation. Love the QR code at the end. Just sent an email. I'm giving Joe some time to get his screen up and get prepared while we say goodbye to Mr. Towns. Thank you so much for your great questions. Congratulations, Ketty Ann. That was awesome. Wasn't that cool, AJ?
That was super cool.
Really cool. And great initiative. It reminds me of Techstars, how they work with corporations all the time as well.
Yeah.
All righty. Our next founder, ready to share. Oh, is everybody caffeinated and ready to go? Because I know I better get my coffee, right?
Got my evening pour. Good to go.
Excellent, Joe. Welcome, welcome. You know the drill. We're going to pop AJ out now, and then I'm going to set the timer, and it's going to be all yours. Hold on.
Thank you.
1 minute and 39 seconds, starting now.
Okay, thank you very much. So my name is Joe Capone. I'm one of the co-founders, and I'm the CEO of a company called Espressly. And we are laser focused in the specialty coffee and cafe world. We started working with cafes prior to COVID, and we set out to build Starbucks-style mobile ordering systems for cafes most people prefer the local cafe, the independent cafe, but maybe they go to Starbucks because it's more convenient. So we're bringing the same level of technology to the local cafe, which is going to, of course, enable easy repeat ordering. People are going to be rewarded. We have a great loyalty system. We're adding tons of features that are exclusive to coffee. Too much stuff is made maybe for restaurants, but not necessarily for this niche, which is coffee. So in terms of business model for the cafes, things have drastically changed. Curbside pickup is massive. So we naturally have UX to drive that, make it easier. Drive-through itself is massive. We see cafes with 80% and more of their business coming through the drive-through. So our entire platform is built really to answer the needs of these cafes now that things have changed. We see a lot of restaurants, a lot of cafes that do have online ordering, but that's typically going to be through a web browser. And for somebody that's local to a cafe, it's not so convenient to have to load the web. So with the proper app on their phone, with Save Credit Card, Apple Pay, in-app wallet purchases, it's just a lot easier. Makes it easier for these cafes to compete. So we're building elegant and affordable mobile ordering systems end-to-end for all your favorite cafes all across America. We're integrated with Square. That'll go live actually in a few days. We have receipt printers, label printers for sticky, on the cup. The wallet functionality is huge, so people can save money. So we're making ordering a lot easier for all these customers at these great cafes. And our ask is simply that you let your local cafe know who we are. We can build them an app. There's no setup fee, and the economics are sound. Thank you.
Bravo, 99 seconds. That is awesome. I'll go ahead and remove that from the screen and put you in there. AJ?
I guess my only question is, in terms of your pricing, is it per app, or is the app free and you're monetizing per transaction?
You got it. Yeah, so we know that one of the the issues at play here is the cost to get in. So there's no setup fee, not one penny, no down payment. We take all the risk as the company. Our typical economic model is just 4%. So 4% commission. We pass along 100% of tips, and ultimately it's very low cost. If they want, they can also use our tiered pricing model, which goes away from commission, which might be a little bit more favorable, as a partnership type model. So we would charge only as much as $10 per day per location. So once they exceed a certain number of orders, it's all gravy for them.
Follow up, Joe. So 4%, like in terms of volume of transaction, correct?
So if you spent $5 at your favorite local cafe, we're collecting just 4% of that.
Now, is that on top of the third-party payment system you're using, like Stripe, or do you have your own integrated payment?
So processing is separate, and where we're integrated with Square, a great thing is that we use the Square API for payments. So everything not only flows straight into the terminal at the cafes, but they have consolidated accounting. There's a daily deposit that's occurring, and we also have merchant processing agreements with Card Connect, where we'll actually help the cafe to get their own agreement. So we're not actually, marking it up. So it's really very favorable for the cafe. They're saving a lot of money.
Got it.
And Richard's asking, how are you different from other payment platforms?
Okay, so we're definitely a mobile ordering platform. We're not a payment company like you might see with Square or Stripe or Toast. We're focused on the ordering. So certainly we get into payments, but where we are unique is we are 1,000% focused on specialty coffee, and that's we're going to end up going beyond just the basic ordering, but there are very unique needs of the specialty coffee shop and the baristas and things relative to that.
Right. Aristotle wants to know, how do you manage baked goods that revolve in baker shops?
Okay, so yeah, we work with cafes, a lot of donut shops, as well as bakeries. Naturally, this is our focus, our niche. And the nice thing with the Square integration is that these shops continue to use the same inventory management controls that they have through Square. So when something is sold in the mobile app, that the inventory at the store level, at the POS level, will be updated. And we're very much like a Shopify model, where we give 100% of the control of the back end to the cafe. So they can go in 86 items. So items disappear for the remainder of the day, or they could permanently remove it. But if you think about any control that would be needed relative to food items, drinks, it's really just all being done through the back end.
And Michael wants to know, where are you installed? How many cafes?
As of today, we're live at 10 different brands for a total actually of about 22 different locations as of now. We're set to go live with the 40 location brand very soon, which would be great because it's a very popular brand. And yeah, we basically went live with our first brand, just really 2.5 months ago, really.
Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
Right.
And Nick wants to know, how do you educate consumers on the system, or is that one the cafe? So are they doing that?
The beauty of what we're doing is that because we are giving them their own app and we are not taking any credit for it, and it's their customers, we're really just working with them to understand how it works. And then for them, they're using Instagram, they're using whatever their traditional means are to educate the customers, to show them, what's in there for new items. And, removing this requirement, that maybe a marketplace style app would have, not only is massively powerful, reducing our marketing spend, but it's really helping to give a partnership level app to these cafes. And what we're seeing is these cafes are actually discontinuing service with the large marketplace coffee brands, Joe Coffee, and one's called Odeco now, which used to be Clusive. So they want this to be their only app. That makes sense. It's their app.
I love that. Yeah. And they brand it and everything is theirs. Okay. So we're going to bring Mr. Towns in. AJ and I are going to slip out. Have a wonderful conversation, you two.
Hey, Fred.
Great. Hey, great job. I was curious, how do you think about scale and how big of a business are you aiming to build here?
We're looking to build the biggest possible business that we can. And, in terms of total addressable market, we haven't nailed it down exactly, but there's 24,000 independent coffee shops in America. There's a lot of very large operators. So if we can pin, a few 300 location operators and we can have favorable economics, we think that we can do a good job of helping tons and tons of cafes. Obviously, this extends into bakeries, like I said, donut shops. We're staying away from restaurants. We're not going to go into restaurants. It's a completely different game. It's too saturated and delivery is too important. And we just want to focus on businesses that are heavy pickup businesses. Where customers can just expect 100% success, in their ordering.
In terms of innovation, what about things? Are you adding capabilities that these folks couldn't add themselves, like advanced ordering or recurring orders or things like that?
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for asking that. So, I'm an engineer. IoT is at the heart, is at the base. The basis to a lot of what we do. So we're working on pressure sensitive pickup stations that will be integrated with the POS. So, people these days don't want somebody touching their coffee, turning it around so you can see the name on it. So with some IoT, some Raspberry Pi devices, and whether it be a digital pickup station, we have a wand-like device we're working on that the drive-through worker is going to use to perform an NFC transaction on the user's mobile device in their car. And the wallet functionality is, it's important because we can touch 100% of all the orders that occur in a cafe. But if you only do in-app purchases, some people will never make an in-app purchase. So put $50 on the wallet of Providence Bagel, for instance, one of our brands, and be rewarded with an extra $5. And then come in and we'll have scanners on the counter for in-store purchase, as well as scanners in drive-through. So we're looking to add as many different printers, scanners, pickup stations. We have lights for notifying baristas. So we're not using loud alert notifications in a nice, peaceful cafe. So just being smart with using connected devices to, accomplish a lot of what the software attempts to do.
Interesting.
Whew.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Am I out of town, Andy? Out of time? I have one more if there's time.
You go right ahead. Go right ahead.
Joe, have you looked at the landscape? I have to imagine that, there are other players doing a similar thing, and I was just concerned about differentiation.
Yeah. Okay. So I actually founded a marketplace delivery company about 3 years ago. Sorry. And feels like 70 years. And you quickly run into Uber Eats and DoorDash and Postmates, Grubhub, and you see a lot of news on these guys. So we decided that marketplace is a virus for the businesses themselves. They hate it. It's terrible. So that's where we pivoted into branded. And for where we are in branded in coffee, I can say as of this moment, we are the only company that is 100% coffee focused. We will not do restaurants. We're the only company. And, certainly there's going to be more, or sure, there's probably others out there. But competitively speaking, I feel very good about just, the power of the bean,
The bean,
And
Java.
yeah, so we can do a lot of stuff with helping them to sell their beans and, educating baristas. So as we go deeper into coffee itself, we quickly see that it's a nice, safe place to be. We're not going to be, as big as a company that might focus in restaurants necessarily. Maybe we will, but we're not leaving coffee. So I think that's going to be our insulator.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Joe. Thank you, Frederick. We're getting ready to bring up our next founder. Great job, you guys.
Thank you.
I'm always learning from Fred. I got to tell you, he asks such great questions. It gets me pondering too. All right. It's Wento. You going to get your screen up there?
Yes, I will. Just
Awesome. And I'll get your banner going. Wento, show.
There we go. Is it all good?
It's looking great. AJ and I are going to hop out. I'm going to set the timer before I do.
Okay. Okay, everyone. Thank you very much for having me here today. My name is Wento, and I am the co-founder and CEO of Captivate. So here at Captivate, our mission is to really empower the SMBs, so startups and small, medium-sized businesses, to get the most out of their online ads using AI. So meet Bella. She's 29 years old. She works as a fashion designer. In her spare time, she's starting her own fashion line. That's always been her dream. And so she's invested into building a Shopify store. She's got about $5,000 to spend in marketing and driving traffic and sales. However, Bella has a 62% chance of failing. And that's really because of two main reasons. First, she can't afford to hire an agency. The average agency out there in North America is going to set you back $5,000 alone just for their fee. And second, she's going to try and dabble with it, but your life experience is probably not going to do well on that either. So that's where we come in. Our idea is to really make this a low experience requisite. And so Bella can come in, log onto her dashboard, plug into her Facebook and Instagram and Google Analytics and Shopify store, and just drop her content. We will take care of predicting who we should be showing the ads to. We will automatically deploy the ads for her. And we will also take care of the analyzation and the optimization of the ads in real time so that Bella can really reap the rewards of that as much as possible and focus on the other high-level aspects of her business. So business model is very simple. We are month to month. We're a low fee, flat fee. And currently till date, in 4 months of operation, we have 40 paying clients with 20% increase in return on ad spend on average in 2 months. So thank you again for having me. We're offering a Founders Live only special and discount for anyone out there who's interested. Feel free to reach out. Thank you very much.
On the nose. Alexa, off. Hey, that was great. Let me get AJ in the room here.
Fine. Perfect.
And put this. Yeah, I want to get that discount. Come on, solopreneurs are always looking for help.
That's great.
Good job, though. I love how you start off with a story. I love pitches that start off with a story that could easily resonate with someone. So good job.
Thank you.
When you mentioned 63% fail, I'm like, that's it?
Yeah. Well, some people don't even get started, right? So we're not even including those guys.
Absolutely. My question, what was my question?
Well, okay.
Go first, Andy.
Yeah, no, I have an audience question.
Okay,
I mean, this is the beauty of our audiences. They are on top of this. I love that. So Richard's asking, are there any limits on the ad spends in their packages?
So that's a great question, Richard. And I'm going to sound a little bit cheesy, but we've made a philosophical decision not to do so. Most people will charge per spend. In our case, we allow for unlimited campaigns and unlimited ad spend. The idea is that we want to be cheaper and reward you for spending more, because at the end of the day, we're a data business. So the data you generate, while they'll never be sold or shared with anybody else, is really what makes us better at what we do. So that's already number one value we can derive from this.
Great. You got a question, AJ?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So you use the example of the fashion retailer. So during the pandemic, you said you launched 4 months ago.
4 months full launch, yeah.
So I could imagine, the fashion industry isn't doing too well right now. So what verticals are you seeing a little bit of traction in since the pandemic started?
Yeah, so there's definitely high volatility. What we do see is that it does depend a lot on industry. For example, consumer packaged goods is doing very well, overall speaking. People want snacks delivered to their door, etc. We have an edible coffee bar company. We have a pillow cube company, a cube-shaped pillow, etc. So overall, I'd say that we are very laser focused right now on helping the smaller guys. So if you're spending us less than $15,000 as low as $600 a month, you're going to want to use us. Ideally, a direct to consumer. That way, we can measure success directly based on cost of purchase, return on investment, etc., etc.
I'm a huge fan of your tagline. Take the guesswork out of Facebook ads. Can I get a thumbs up from people who have gone through what? With Facebook ads, you go through the huge effort of placing the ad, you've got the great content, you do everything. And then, so when we work with you, we shoot you our video and our content, and then you place it, and we just go, and we have to have a minimum spend, right? We have to have at least $600 budget to put into that monthly.
That is definitely the recommended spend. We always recommend to have, a metric in mind. So for example, if you're a direct consumer, or let's say you wanted to get people to attend this event, right? We can say, oh, well, this is doing great. I can pump in more money. If you are a direct consumer, then if you break even and you turn a profit, then people can just reinvest that money back into it and then scale, so on and so forth. So hopefully we can take you from, we're not just a solution for you to run ads, but an actual partner in you to help you grow your business to the next level.
It's outstanding for leveraging, again, especially for the smaller business.
Right.
Yeah.
And another great question from Richard, any plans to expand beyond Facebook ads?
Yes, absolutely, Richard. So we get so many requests. I think we get TikTok requests, we get Amazon requests, we get WeChat, how long that'll be active requests, Google, definitely, obviously. And so I think that our goal is to expand first horizontal. Well, we want to do what we do first right now very well. We want to be the best in what we do, and then you can expand horizontally. That means a one-size-fits-all platform. Let's figure out all the channels, and you can do vertically. I can even go in so far as to say, hey, look, Richard, these people that are coming to your website, they're not converting at third stage of the checkout. Let's fix that. So that's a vertical integration that we'll then go into later speaking.
Yeah. Hey, Find Our View.
Hey, how are you, Rita?
Hey. That's wonderful. Okay, so we're done with questions here. We're getting ready to bring in Mr. Towns, and we'll add him to the screen. And AJ and I will slip out and have a great conversation, you two.
Patrick?
Hey, great job there. I was curious. Can you talk to me a little bit about the AI, because there's like computer vision component, I assume, and there's obviously like the content component, and then there's the notion around like who's clicking and lookalikes and all that stuff. Can you unpack that a little bit?
Yeah, absolutely. So right now we don't focus that much on computer vision because we don't focus that much on the content. We're primarily focused on the targeting level, which is basically the variables that are given within us in the platforms. So what we do is we have a two-part model. The first part is an NLP. So we use train off of Google's BERT. We take inputs, unstructured textual data inputs from our clients, and then we spit out target audiences, a list of them, and the probability that we think that'd be a good fit. We distribute your finite budget. Yes, sorry, Fred, you had a question?
I was just going to say, is that what on your website you're calling content analytics?
So content
analytics,
right, so that's separate. The content analytics is post analytics. Once we're already running the ads, what can we tell about that? So what we really do is predict the audiences that work based on unstructured data. And then as we run it, we have reinforcement learning that then optimizes it in real time. And then as we're doing that, content is another variable. So I can figure out what pieces of content within it, let's say the text versus image versus a call to action, how are they performing in of itself. So right now we're more focused on the targeting. That's where predictive aspect comes in. We offer the content analytics because most people, especially large companies, want that. And hopefully that's also the first step to then do some content optimization going beyond that. such as using OpenAI and generating text, etc. But that's the next level stuff.
So your ability to look at the AI across individual campaigns and like start to improve return on ad spend, does that benefit an individual advertiser or does it benefit all advertisers?
It benefits the individual advertiser. You're basically trying to find underbidded things. So to give you an example, one of our clients out in California, she's selling beachwear, and she thinks her target audience is 18 to 24-year-old bi-coastal, into beach volleyball. But we found that the actual best audience for a period of time were women over 40 with daughters in high school. So they have an overlapping interest in this, but one is underbidded. So thus, it's cheaper to show your ads to them, and thus they perform better. So that's what we do. We find relationships within target audiences, and we test them out, as opposed to mass-scale brute force A/B testing. So that's why we're cheaper to get off with, and we're also much more flexible and adaptable.
So I've seen with some cases, like it seems like you're positioning yourself as an ad platform, but I've seen, you know the industry well, I'm sure, essentially agencies that use technology. And one of the things that occurred to me was, is it possible for you to take what you're learning and apply it universally, across, and do that discovery? And if it is, it's interesting to look at taking a percent from a revenue perspective, taking a percentage of return on ad spend, because you're unlocking high converting inventory.
Yeah, that's a very good point. So we're considering that. I think right now we want to do what we do very well first, and then I think the business model is open to evolution. So I definitely appreciate that. We do have agency clients as well. I think that with most of
that, I'm sure.
Yeah, with most of the automation software out there, I think the problem is that they help you if this, do that automatically. I think what we're trying to help you solve is if this, then what? What do you do? What should you be doing at a higher level? Let's predict the next audience to test, et cetera, et cetera.
Cool.
I like that forward thinking. I might wait till I push. Yeah, I'm going to wait till the folks get out. I apologize. I needed a JPEG for the dashboard Wentow, but I'm going to share the generous offer from Captivate with you all. Okay, so let me just bump Wentow out. Thank you so much. Great pitch, great information. And of course, Mr. Towns, great questions. You're amazing. Okay, here we go. So AJ, I just want to bring this up. This is the wonderful offer that Captivate has for the Founders Live community. 30-day free trial and 50% off all annual subscriptions. So folks, reach out to Captivate and take advantage of that, okay?
Definitely
all right.
Value in that. We definitely spend a lot in social media ads over the past years with our other businesses. So
I tell you, anybody can automate that.
Golden, that's
so it's time. It's time to find out who is going to get the extra. In addition to $5,000, each of these founders receive in credit with Amazon Web Services. The crowd favorite gets an additional $10,000 and a bunch of perks from those of us right here. So I think we're ready to bring up the QR code. What do you say, AJ?
Bring it on.
Bring it on. Okay, I'm going to do a full screen here, everybody. Here you go. Time to vote. Go ahead, AJ.
All right, so fairly simple. Just open up your camera on your smartphone. You want to hold it up to the QR code, and then it'll scan it and redirect you straight to the poll.
Awesome. And just
if your QR code scanner doesn't work, you simply could type in the URL right on the bottom, bit.ly/September_winner, case sensitive. And it'll take you straight into the poll. If this is your first time, it'll ask you just a few questions, name, email address, so you could log in.
Awesome.
And then it'll take you straight into the poll.
Before we get to the trivia questions, AJ, I want to remind everybody that we have a networking event at the end of this pitch event. So if you want to continue the conversation, we are going to share the link to join us in the Zoom room.
And we're calling it an after party networking session. Grab a cocktail, grab your third cocktail for the evening. join us. We'll get to know each other a little bit more, and you, the audience, get to introduce yourself and tell everyone else what exciting thing you're working on. So we could add some wind to your sails as well.
And when we do this live every month, when we were in person live, after everybody wrapped up and we got kicked out of the CIC, oftentimes everybody headed over to the local watering hole, the local bar, as we say in Boston, and continued the conversation. So anyway, just wanted to remind everybody to look for that side networking event that's coming up later. Shall we get on to the trivia questions?
Yeah.
Here we go.
So question number 6. You may think I'm a fan of Nintendo based on my name. I'm known for building a productive shared community in 800 plus locations worldwide, by the way. What company am I?
Oh, this is a good one. This is a good one here. All right, audience, got a $15 Amazon card waiting for you. Competitors out there.
This is a good one.
This is a good one. They had a lot of press over this last year.
Yeah, a lot of press, a lot of, we're in turbulent times. The founder was buying private jets. But I think they'll get through it. I really do.
Yeah. And let's see. Great job. You're in the trivia. Okay, we're still waiting. No, but I like the W part of that answer. Fresh to Jeff.
I definitely like the W.
No.
Nintendo Wii.
Unfortunately, no. Oh, Mama. You're going to be surprised when you see what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People.
Here's a winner, Richard.
I was just about to give a really good clue, but he got it.
Yep, you got it, Richard. And so, Richard, we need to get your email address. So if you're on Facebook, you can message me. I think we can connect on LinkedIn. Message me. We'll get your email address and get you that gift card. Thank you so much for participating. And same with you. A little on the later, just a few seconds later. Jealousy and no fall. And yes, you did, oh mama, but you're the brand ambassador. That's like, you don't get to play. Anyway, next question.
Question number 7. When you hear my name, don't always think a summertime beverage. Outside of charity, and I could help you protect your homes and pets. What company am I? When you hear my name, don't always think a summertime beverage. Outside of charity, and I can help you protect your homes and pets. What company am I? This is tough.
Hey, Richard, I just want to bring this up because you're on the Facebook stream and Omama is on the YouTube stream, but she's just saying, love your profile. Oh, it's Chelsea who said that. Love your profile photo, Richard. Yay. This is a good one. You know, that refreshing drink in the summertime that most of us crave for our parched throats. Or sometimes you can make a really good martini.
I think I'm like the only entrepreneur who never had who never sold that when I was a kid.
Oh my gosh. Our kids, a bunch of the neighborhood kids went and did one of these. Only they went to add some iced tea and they grabbed a bunch of lemonade and iced tea from our fridge because it was an impromptu stand. Oops. And it was hard. So they were selling, they didn't know it was hard because they were too young. And anyway, so the neighbors are like, wow, I didn't know we could have these kind of stands here with our drinks. It was a funny parent moment. Anyway, Michael, there you go. You nailed it.
After you gave it away, basically.
I know. Sorry. I did a Robert. Robert did the same thing last month. Yep, Kyle, great. But Michael, you know how to get your email address. And yep, thank you, Kyle and Richard. Oh, I like that seed box. Country Time. Close. That's a brand of lemonade.
I love this next one coming up.
Yeah, this is a good one. Here we
Question
go.
number 8.
Keep
I'm a
voting,
company-
everybody. Go ahead.
I'm a company with a name and mission commonly associated with reflection, both internal and external. My founder has a boutique background. What company am I?
And I don't know, about 3 years ago, I met the founder at a New England Venture Group event here in Boston, you know, that Joe Benjamin throws every year.
Got it.
Winner right there.
Yeah.
Woo,
There we
woo,
go.
woo, woo.
Good job.
Okay, Jealousy, give your email address to Omama. She's in the threads, comment threads with you there. Thank you so much. Everybody keep voting. Keep
We got
voting.
Number 9.
Number 9 coming up. And go, AJ.
I've been popularized in recent years by a company that sounds like it could prevent scurvy. It's common for me to be picked up and dropped off. What am I?
Ooh.
It
Quick
could prevent scurvy.
Yep.
Interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, this is a tough one.
Think of, I got a good clue.
You do?
Yeah. They write on these a lot in Europe, Paris especially.
Right. So do you see the common thread? I think Richard got it again. Or right?
Did you get it?
I think so. What do you think, AJ?
Yeah, that's it.
All right, Richard. E-scooters. And Michael actually got the name of the people who were promoting them.
Exactly. Yeah.
Exactly. Great job. Excellent. And we're moving on to number 10.
Question. This is the last question, folks. Known for my African roots and uniquely accessible clothing, I was the lead in one of Netflix's top 10 original movies of all time. Who am I? Uniquely accessible clothing. Interesting. I didn't know she was known for her uniquely accessible clothing. I just gave a hint. It's actually a woman.
Okay, well, that happens.
I'll give a second hint. This is kind of tough. She also has Dutch roots as well.
Ooh, all right, here we go. No, but if anybody saw that movie, that special movie that she was in Netflix, it was outstanding. I loved it.
Netflix has some good programming right now.
Yeah, but that movie that I think it was just a few months ago, it was a good combo for chick flick and guy flick if you're in a relationship with opposite sex and you got to agree on something to watch that night. She also is well known there. Richard, you're nailing it tonight. Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
I was just about to say that great perfume commercial. The movie came out this summer. It was so good, Quick Wit. So good. And thank you, Quick Wit, for getting us so many wonderful questions. Oh my gosh, it was so good. Thank you. Thank you, everyone, for participating. You will get your cards. We will reach out to you over the next 2 to 3 weeks, and you'll hear from us.
Time to announce the winner?
Yep.
We got a winner, folks. It was actually close. There was 2 startups that were extremely close. One ran away with it, though, at the end.
Hold on. Let me go ahead and remove this. Go ahead. Do we have to have a drum roll?
Winner is, let me refresh it one more time, see if we have any other last-minute votes. Winner is One Screen AI.
Woo! The birthday guy. Well, that makes sense.
That's a good present. Yeah.
Congratulations, Sam. Let me bring
Good job,
Fred
Sam.
in here.
Thank you.
Great
And-
job, Sam.
Thank you.
And you guys can have some quiet time together as Fred goes deeper. You've got a few more minutes to.
Yeah, Fred. I mean, if you have any other pertinent questions, you can definitely ask that. But definitely end with some advice to Sam as they get ready to scale even more, especially during the pandemic. Yeah.
Okay, AJ. Excellent.
So, Sam, I'm curious, like, what does the finish line look like for you? Like, how would you frame success in some years' time?
First of all, I think that the fact that the out-of-home ad space has gone from 5 billion to 10 billion in 20 years, when the internet went from 10 billion to like 160 billion, is just like, doesn't make any sense. I think it's not just about winning like the $10 billion TAM. Like, I think this could be a $20, $30 billion industry if we implemented some of the underlying fundamentals that have existed, honestly, for a while in the internet space. Two, like, I don't want to lose sight of like helping small business owners. Like, this is a few hundred to a few $1,000s a month in the pockets of lots of small business owners is something that is, is the reason we originally did this, even though now we've expanded to traditional digital out-of-home companies. And then three, I want to make something that like marketers can have fun with. Like, we've had today, somebody invented like the 14th different campaign type. Because you can do takeover campaigns. You can do sort of like nurturing campaigns. You can, because we detect dwell time, you can like show people a series of ads that tell them a story. Like, it's just been fun as a marketer. We haven't had something new to play with in a really long time. And I want this to be something that marketers could be like really creative with, and not just ads. It's the obvious short-term monetization. I think there's a lot of interactive media that can be made here.
I was going to say, is there a new ad format that you contemplate that maybe even has a moniker or something that's coming, or are you going to use like the traditional modalities for now so that people aren't like, what the hell are you talking about?
For now, I mean, we're starting with the traditionals. I don't have my nice little phrase like we had inbound marketing at HubSpot that I could index everything against yet. It's remarkably hard to come up with that, like to get it that short. But I mean, I'm definitely more bullish on the sort of long-term potential. Like, we talked with, there's a Boston startup called Better Spot, lets you sell your seat if the bar is crowded, assuming they ever get crowded again. Like, it could be sports betting. A company called Climacell. Like, the screen should tell me when it stops raining outside and then automatically order me an Uber. Like, these are just things that more of an app ecosystem or an ecosystem platform than showing ads. But there's only 4.5 of us at this company right now, so we're starting with video and image files, and then we'll add apps.
So this question may demonstrate a lack of understanding in how the platform works, because I haven't like seen a demo. Sure. But like, is there a reason? Like, I envision like a Chromecast plugged into an HDMI port on on a screen. Is there a need or an interest or any value in like having a pass through? So I've got my Apple TV and I plug it into your system, which then plugs into the TV, and then I can still do my thing if I was a consumer, or if I'm at a bar and I've got a bunch of screens, and there's still the content, but it moves back and forth and takes focus and stuff like that. Does that make sense, or is that?
No, it does. Right now, they can switch to a different HDMI input. We can tell they're not tuned to us, and we just remove them from the platform. They stop making money until they tune back. So if you want to show like the big game or something, you still can. We'll eventually probably do picture-in-picture at the very least, if not like header bidding and stuff like that. One startup in San Francisco got the living hell suit out of them for was interrupting content, like after a TV show ended, not showing the ads that DirecTV had sold, and instead showing their ads.
Oh wow!
That we can't do. Well, I mean, we can, but we won't because we don't want to get sued either. But it's definitely like, and there's a lot of non-ad content that we can license as well. So I mean, it's not designed to be just a stream of ads, and it's designed to be totally controllable by the whoever owns the screen. They can also run their own content too.
So because the content's copyrighted, you can't just start monetizing it, basically. Is that what you said?
Well, yeah, I mean, it would break, DirecTV's model if you took the content they were paying for, like syndicating from the NFL or something like that, and then not showing any of their ads. It was an interesting idea, but the way we might get around that is it should be still doable for us to do like picture in picture, for us to do a banner or a bottom third ad. Or
Yeah,
something else
that's
like
exactly what I was thinking. You just like shift focus a little bit, and I think less about DirecTV. I think more about like streaming content. You know what I mean?
Yeah, totally. Yeah,
Cool.
like in the NFL, where like they shift to commercial, but they still have like, the little box that's
exactly.
showing it. Yeah,
and you guys do that, and then you introduce like a new media format. And the other thing I was going to talk about is like, in terms of interactivity, I heard QR codes and SMS, but how does the like proximity awareness piece work that you were talking about with phones and stuff? Is that what you were talking about?
Yeah. So right now, it's just got Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, NFC, general RF antennas set to listen only mode. So just like if you open your Bluetooth panel on your phone, it'll show you all the Bluetooth devices that are nearby. It's also ingesting their signal strength, although it's just not showing it to you. We use that same concept to just count the number of mobile devices that are trying to handshake with other devices around them. And that tells us, at least how many mobile devices are in front of the screen. If your signal's too weak, you're either too far away or there's like a wall in between you and the screen or something like that, we don't count you as part of the audience, which is why we track that signal strength aspect of it.
Okay, do you have one more question, Fred?
Well, I was trying to follow directions and do what AJ said. So I was going to say it might be too early for this, but there's like Apple has the U1 chip that's in, what is it in? It's in a couple of devices now. What did they just come out with? Oh, it's the new Apple Watch has it for sure. But this notion of spatial awareness, I'm sure you already started thinking about that. And it'd be interesting if there's something you could do with push via spatial awareness so that someone doesn't have to give you their phone number, so more privacy technically, right? Like less spam. And they don't have to do an action like scan a QR code, but you can put something like Apple's app clips and just be like, if they like point their phone at a screen that's enabled with your tech, it'll do like an app clips thing where it's like, hey, here's the, a special offer, and you get it through a deep link into this app kind of thing. I think that would be great with your app ecosystem idea.
So I haven't written code since ASP.NET was new, but I'm assuming Andre, our CTO, understood that. So.
Well, I don't even know if it's doable, but if you did that, it's a whole new paradigm. That would be fantastic.
We'll look into it. Thank you. That's awesome.
That is really awesome.
Any questions, find me on LinkedIn.
We will. Thank you.
Awesome. Right. Congratulations, Sam, and happy birthday. Go celebrate with your wife.
And not only congratulations, Sam, congratulations to everyone who
everybody. Oops, sorry, AJ.
Kicking me out already? I could get started the after party earlier.
That's the first time in all the 7 times I've ever done that. Oh my gosh.
No, but really, congrats to all founders presenting. It was a tough competition tonight. Some great pitches, great innovation. Everyone had so much purpose. You could see the passion in their voice and in their presentation. It was
absolutely.
Yeah.
And you're absolutely right on purpose. Clear, succinct, everything. Succinct presentations. I'm having to press so many buttons here. It's hard to talk and do all of this at the same time. Maybe there are some other founders out there, AJ, that would like to pitch at this event themselves.
Yeah, we're always looking to build our pipeline of founders to present, and so we could feature them every month. Application process is fairly simple. Just scan the QR code here if you are a founder within the New England area. We'd love to feature you. So just fill out that quick application, and either Andy or I will kind of get back to you, and we'll walk you through the proper steps on how to make it to Founders Live.
And that's how everyone that you've seen up here on the screen in this last 7 months, and also in person at the CIC, has been able to join us.
Yeah, and it's not easy to pitch, folks. I've been an entrepreneur for a while. I pitched several different businesses in front of a crowd, and to be honest with you, virtual it's kind of more difficult, if you ask me. So, kudos to everyone who pitched tonight. Kudos to the ones who will be pitching eventually. It's not easy at all, but it builds you. It really builds you to who you will become. So,
all right. And let me go ahead and grab the ready for October 29th is our next event, everybody.
Yeah, folks, we're keeping the show going. October 29th is our next Founders Live event. Early bird tickets are up. Just RSVP now. Tell a friend, tell some other founders, and join us next month, right before Halloween. Should be fun. Hey, maybe we'll have a Halloween costume theme. That'd be pretty cool.
It doesn't take me. I'll dress up in a heartbeat.
Yeah, I think I'm going to do that. So
okay, AJ, I'm with you on that. Any final words for everybody?
Stay inspired, folks. Stay encouraged. We're all really helping each other out every step of the way, and know that you have a family here to support you, and you don't have to pitch to really contact us and ask us any questions you may have or any advice, or want us to connect you to any other founders within our network. We're one big happy family, so feel free to reach out whenever you want. And we have our after party coming up. So
that's right.
Right now.
That's not showing up here.
Oh, it's not.
No. So let me see if I can see. I don't know why it's not showing up. So sorry. It looks great in the presentation, but it's not showing up on the screen. But here's the scoop. I put the links into the chat here, everybody. Basically,
the passcode is 1234. So just the Zoom link is in the chat. So just go there and we will be on there now.
There we go. Solved that problem.
Oh, you got it.
Yeah. Wasn't working on the screen, but there it is in the comments that I sent out. Hopefully we'll be able to see you there. We'll miss you, Richard. You winner, you tonight. Thank you. And you're welcome. And okay, so this is Andre that Sam was mentioning. And here's his answer to Fred. Yep, understood and doable in 3 months. Don't you love that? Founders are amazing. Okay, everybody, we'll see you at the after party. This is Andy and AJ signing out. Congratulations to all the founders who are pitching tonight. You were amazing. We're so proud of you. And to all the founders out there and to all the great audience, thank you so much for showing up and adding your wind to the sails of the Founders Live community.
Ciao.
Bye, everyone.